Did I tell you that they called me like 50 million times after the fact,
Yeah.
trying to go lower and lower?
They already ruined the experience for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Had interesting experiences that they always want to try and sell you on this and sell you on that, and I'm like, I just want to go in and see what you have, kind of take my own time and look, and they're always trying to sell you.
It's gonna be my very first bike. Literally just did the MSF course. He's like, oh, so you've never ridden before? Well, we're not gonna sell you the bike.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Brude Talk episode 3. Today is going to be an interesting day because it has been raining. This guy's Brude hoodie is soaked just from walking outside. This guy got the flu, and this guy had to go to the doctor's office on his bike because his car is not working. Interesting day.
I was soaked to the bone. Being
It
on the
was dry.
highway in pouring rain is never great.
Didn't you say you took off your jacket and then everything inside was wet?
Oh yeah, everything. My hoodie, my t-shirt, like my pants, my sweatpants underneath my pants, my boxers were wet. I was like, dude, I can't win. The only things that weren't wet were my hands and my feet. I was like, I guess that's a win.
And so your socks weren't wet.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is a win. I
Yeah.
consider that a win. If your socks don't get wet, riding in the rain, I would say that is a win. Let me introduce the hosts of today's Brude Talk. We got Machine Gun Moto.
Hello.
We got Storm 6R.
Hello.
I can't call him Stormy Daniels anymore, but I will still call him Stormy Daniels off camera. And we got Nasty Nate, a.k.a. Pics by Nate on Instagram. And then what is your YouTube channel officially going to be called?
Shift and focus. Shift and underscore focus.
Shiftin?
Yeah,
underscore.
SHIFTIN underscore focus.
I love it. Did you already claim it?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
That's fire.
And no waving of the mics today.
So we're not going to do this.
Yes, this is our third. No, we're not doing this now. Yeah.
I'm just leaving this here.
That's good.
We're not going to touch tips, okay? We're not going to touch tips.
No jigsaw activity.
No jig
Jinx
activity.
activity, yeah.
Who has bought from a dealership in this group? Raise your hands. Not Alex. Great.
I've
Why?
been in them. I just haven't bought in there,
Why have you not bought from a dealership?
because I can get a bike for way cheaper used online. So
So you're more of a used.
I've never bought a vehicle new in my life. I buy very few things new in my high life. I just bought a tracksuit used. I bought a helmet new. That's probably a good idea,
I was
but
about to say, did you get that one new? Or?
bought the helmet new. But majority of things, I would say, I try to buy used. Try to be a little bit cheaper in them. You get some good deals. I went into dealerships and I had interesting experiences that they always want to try and sell you on this and sell you on that, and I'm like, I just want to go in and see what you have, kind of take my own time and look, and they're always trying to sell you, and I just don't appreciate that. So I kind of see online, do my research, and go out and see stuff out, off of Facebook or whatnot. So,
Cool. So you like shopping for a bargain.
yeah, like a bargain. So
Great. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I'm with that. I'm on board with that all day. Storm.
Oh shoot. No, I've bought the two bikes that I had. Well, the Gixxer I bought at a dealership, and the Zixer I bought at a dealership. The bike that I wanted to get, the CBR 600, I was trying to get out of the dealership. I think is it Southbound or Southbound Honda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's like right off the freeway or something like
Yeah.
that. Tried to go there to get the 600, and yeah, they were not trying to sell it to me, like at all.
I wonder why. Can you go into that?
Upset. Well, so I walked in and I was like, hey, I seen you guys had this bike. I got the money. Like, let's do the paperwork, pretty much, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, so how long you been riding for? I'm like, oh, this is gonna be my very first bike. Literally just did the MSF course. He's like, oh, so you've never ridden before? Nope. Well, we're not gonna sell you the bike. Yeah. Didn't want to sell me the bike.
That doesn't make any sense.
And you had the money.
And I had the money ready to go. Like I'm ready to get the bike. They're like, no, we're not gonna sell it to you because this is your very first time riding. Which I've seen on YouTube that some dealerships actually will do that. Like they can turn you down if it's your very first time riding. And he went on like this spiel about like how he sold the same bike to this lady and she died like a couple weeks later, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. He didn't want to be responsible
Nope. Yeah.
for
so
you getting hurt.
yeah. And then I went to Enumclaw, which is, how far is Enumclaw? Not that far.
It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think from you it's like maybe 20.
Yeah. So I went there and saw the 750. Yeah, and they were like, "Have you ridden before?" Nope. Cool. We'll sell it to you still. I was like, all right, let's go. Yeah, so got
Like,
that
oh,
one.
this guy's sick.
You're like,
Yeah.
so will you sell me the 1,000 instead? Hey, I actually want that 1,000. Will you sell me that one?
Sell me that.
Just keep going up on bike. R1M sounds like a great deal.
Yeah,
So how'd you feel about that? Does that piss you off?
that they sold it to me, or
That first dealership, did that mess you up?
um
Were you
like
were you kind of salty about it?
oh, I'm still salty about it. I tell people all the time.
Man,
I
it's
tell people
hurt.
all the time. If you want a bike that you're settled on, don't go there because they won't sell it to you.
If you're a first time rider.
If you're a first time rider, yeah. Don't go.
Maybe that's just their policy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Which I can respect. I get it. I'm just salty. That's just me personally.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
And then the Zixer.
Are you happy
I
that they
shouldn't have.
didn't sell you it at all? Like, is any part of you just like, you know what?
Hell
I'm
no.
okay with the fact.
No.
Not even
If-
a
if
small amount.
I almost lasted a year on the 750.
That's because you crashed it.
Oh yeah. True. So,
If you didn't crash
Yeah.
it probably would have lasted
Yeah.
a little bit longer.
Yeah. Maybe the guy was right then. Yeah,
True.
I don't want you to
true.
hurt yourself.
But to go into what he was saying though, when I bought the ZX6R, man, they were trying to freaking get me to add hella stuff onto the bike.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro, no.
So you had
I'm like,
two dealership experience.
Yeah.
So now we're on to the ZX6R. You're saying that experience was different from your Gixxer 750.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Well, they were definitely gonna sell me the bike. It's just they were trying to add on all this extra stuff, and I'm like,
What's
no,
all
dude.
what's all this extra stuff? Oil changes?
Yeah. That was
stuff like
definitely
that,
the
and
one.
then like their Kawasaki maintenance deal thing, which I stupidly took, which I'm probably gonna go back and ask them if they can take it off, but
No, it's too late. You already paid for it. Yeah. You already signed it.
literally haven't used it at all.
What is it for?
See, here's what they said. They said something about, oh, if your chain snaps and it hits your engine block, we'll replace the whole engine for free, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
Sounds like an extra
Whatever.
powertrain warranty.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, and just some other, like, maintenance stuff. Like, if I need to do oil change, they'll do it for free. And
Why haven't you used it?
because I could just do all that stuff myself.
So it sounds like it's on you, bro.
Yeah.
No, which it is. Like,
Honestly, I'd have been like, here,
No,
I need my
well,
oil change.
yeah.
Here's the keys.
Yes.
I'll be
Yeah.
back.
Just did a track day, oil change, please, right now.
Just
There you go.
Hey, so I didn't do anything on my chain and it snapped. Hey, I need a new engine. Oops.
Sorry, whoops. You guys were supposed to make. That's what I paid you for.
Can you oil my chain?
So you guys don't know how to do it? Here's a Double Motos video.
oh my God. No, they made it seem like I had to get it.
And I mean, if we're talking about the same place, I had the similar experience where they're like, oh yeah, like you can get this,
Yeah.
and this, and I'm like, I just want the bike.
Right.
It's like, I don't care about any of that. I'm planning.
Wait, is
on
that where you got
doing-
the R7 here in Washington? You got the R7 in Washington?
Yeah, I got it over at in Olympia.
Oh,
Yeah, instead of at the same
got it.
place you were.
Yeah, I got Nash.
Yeah, instead of at Nash, I was
Yeah.
just like, they're doing too much. I walked into the Yamaha of Olympia like, hey, like what can we help you out with? And I was like, this is so much nicer.
Oh.
I mean, I'll go into more in a
Really-
second, but I don't want
Really
to cut
quick,
you off.
speaking of Nash, so I remember calling them and I asked if I could put a deposit on the bike, and they told me no. And then
Yes, yep.
I found out that someone else went to Nash and put a deposit on the exact same bike,
Yeah.
and they ended up selling it to someone else.
I can definitely say
That's
that because I asked them
crazy.
that same thing too.
If they can take deposit,
Yep.
they said no.
Yep. I'll go into it.
That's that's my experience at dealerships. But
well, let's just get into yours since
Yeah.
it's the same dealership.
So I had this is before I got the R7, I was looking at either the Kawasaki, the
GX6R?
no, the Ninja 650.
Oh, okay.
So I was looking at the Ninja 650 and originally, then they showed me the R7. I was like, you know what? Technically it's more power. Okay, I'll go with that. I was like, hey, I'm not getting the bike now. Like, I just don't have the money. Like, period. Doesn't matter what you try to say to sell me on this. I'm not buying a bike today. Like, I'll be back in 2 months. And they're like, oh, yeah. And then all this, and that. They're like, oh, also, you might want to make sure you get here soon because we only have this one, and we have someone that already wants this bike. And I'm like, are you serious? Is it really necessary to sprinkle well, someone else is also trying to buy this bike?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's unnecessary. You guys get stock. If you sell one, you probably are going to get another one.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I'm getting it or not, there's no need to apply that pressure, which kind of just upset me because I'm like, why would you say that knowing that I can't get the bike today?
Mm.
So that kind of irritated me. And then they're like, oh, yeah, like, we have a bunch of different packages that we can get you in, like, with maintenance and stuff like that. And I already told them, I was like, nope, I'm planning on doing all the work myself. It's like, I've come from a background of doing cars and stuff like that. I'm not going to pay someone to do simple maintenance.
Right.
It's like, that stuff I can do on my own. I can change my own brakes. I can, at least with the tire, with your help, I can change my tire. I can do all the oil. I can do the chain stuff. It's like, maybe when it comes to major stuff, sure, like maybe your 15,000 mile like maintenance. Okay, sure. But then I left there with such a bad taste in my mouth. I was just like, this doesn't feel, I'm not comfortable.
Too salesy, it seems like.
Yeah. It was like, I know you're here to sell me something, but like, this is also something that could kill me. So at least polish it up a little bit and make me feel comfortable before you try to put me on a money missile.
Yeah.
And I went to Yamaha of Olympia. They were super chill. I walked in there. I was like, hey, like, I'm thinking about getting this bike. Can I put a deposit down? And they're like, yeah, sure. Like, that's fine. I was like, how long, like, until, like, from the point in which I put down a deposit to when I have to pick it up? And they're like, oh, I mean, as long as it's not too long. I was like, that's great. I was like, is a month fine? They're like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. I was like, how long are people waiting? Putting deposits down? Like, they were just, it felt friendly. Like, it had that friendly feel to it. And the salesperson that I was working with, they're like, hey, like, are you interested in any of these things? And I said, no. She's like, all right, cool.
Nice.
That was the last thing that, like, the last time that she had got into any of the add-ons was after asking me, do you even want these?
That's cool.
And then after that, she was like, no. And I'm like, cool. But at Nash, I had asked them, I was like, hey, can we put down a deposit on something, especially if I'm planning on possibly coming to get it in maybe a week or two, or maybe a month? And they're like, no, we don't do deposits. And I was like, that's weird, because if I'm buying a car for $10,000, I'm able to put down a deposit to make sure that car doesn't walk off the lot.
Right. That's kind of how deposits work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense, especially when you know that you have part of my money.
Right.
Yeah, and what's bad about doing business like that is when you give somebody a bad experience, they're going to tell their friends or an audience of, almost 500,000. And, like, there's really not much they can do about it. The best form of marketing is, one, email, and then two is word of mouth.
Yeah.
And when you have a bad experience like that, it's never good.
Yeah, like I still, like, of course I would love to get, because they have a good selection of bikes at.
You would probably use them as like a last resort. If they had the only bike that you actually wanted, you could buy, you would use them as a last resort.
Yeah.
Which is similar to my experience with Aprilia.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh no.
We're all like, oh gosh.
No, overall.
So let us know. Tell
sure.
us how you really feel.
Yeah, sure. No. My experience with the Aprilia dealership here in Bellevue at the time, it was actually Kirkland at the time, right near Two Wheel Dyno. It was good. Nothing but good. They had the only, like, I only wanted that specific bike. They had the 23s available, which I didn't want, or 22 or whatever. Didn't want because I didn't like the LED headlights. I just didn't like the overall look. Plus, I knew if anybody's going to buy an RSV4, they're going to buy the new one. They're not going to buy the one that I wanted. That was the only one. It was a demo bike. Got a pretty good deal on it, $19,500. Still had the 2-year warranty, which was nice. They hooked me up with some tires for not much more installed. They gave me an exhaust for not much more. And a flash for not much more.
Nice. They were willing to do all of that for you?
Yeah, for not very much more money. And this is exactly what I wanted. And my experience was different because, I was paying cash, and I just went in there, wrote them a check. I said, just have my bike ready by Saturday. And they did. Went, picked it up, and that was done.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. Besides the whole experience with that person who reached out to me to help promote their dealerships, my dealership experience has been, for the most part, pretty good. When I crashed my first R6, it was like 2 or 3 days later, I went and bought another brand new R6 from a dealership. Limping, bro. Yeah. But again, that's a different experience. I was friends with the sales manager.
Okay.
He made I think he said he made $7 off of me. Yeah, I got a brand new out of the crate, red and white, 2009 R6 for $7,500. Brand spanking new, bro.
Must be nice.
Yeah, and that was in 2009.
That's cheaper than my bike.
Yeah.
And it goes way faster.
Yeah, it's
So what I'm
crazy.
hearing is CF Moto is still undercutting your R6.
Yeah. Exactly.
Out the door.
It's crazy now, right? Because you see used R6s. Good luck trying to find
For $6,000?
Yeah,
No,
six,
$7,000?
seven.
If you find it for $6,000, it's probably crashed.
Yeah.
At least twice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
With a rebuilt title twice.
Twice.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good deal. It was a really good deal. I couldn't pass it up. Brand spanking new, but 2 dealership experience, great. The other part was, again, with the Aprilia, which I'm not gonna go over. They try to get me to do free marketing for them. Now, this other dealership has been hitting me up for I want to say a year. They've been wanting to do work with the Double Moto, and I've just gotten such a really bad taste in my mouth for dealerships that I don't want to work with dealerships. The only reason I did stuff for South Sound Cycles or So Cycles is because my friend Devin worked there.
True, yeah.
And he still works there. And I'm happy to help him out and make some videos of some bikes and promote him as a salesman, which I still got to put out those videos. But at the end of the day, I just don't trust dealerships. I just freaking don't.
And did I tell you that they called me 50 million times after the fact?
Yeah.
Trying to go lower and lower. And it was maybe 10, 15 bucks lower. I'm like, that doesn't make a difference. It's not even taxes difference.
Dude, yeah. And they didn't even they already ruined the experience for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
So as long as the dealerships haven't ruined your experience, that's a good thing. But I mean,
No, but I understand everybody else's
Yeah.
experience is really, sometimes it's really shitty.
oh yeah,
Yeah. But I will say, Moto Corsa, I just bought a bike from them.
oh yeah, I forgot.
2025 Panigale Ducati.
Yeah, so we're gonna see.
And I don't know if it's because I'm a Double Moto or whatever, but overall, from the comments on that video alone, people really love Shaheen. They're just like, oh, we love Moto Corsa. It's not a dealership. They can tell me who they are all they want, but I look to what other people say about them.
Yeah, yeah.
And what other people say about Moto Corsa is yeah, they're not a dealership. They're like your friends that you buy a motorcycle from.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of the experience that you want
Yeah.
when you're dealing with dealerships, I think. When I went to their track day, it was probably the funnest track day I've ever been to. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Did they
think
make
it
you
was
feel
fun.
like you didn't belong?
No, not at all.
Were they super welcoming?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah, they were.
a lot of the riders that went to the Motor Corsa track day,
Oh, yeah,
weren't they
yeah.
super friendly?
Super friendly.
Dude, you go to some of these track days and you'll get those guys that are that just look you up and down and almost look at you like you don't belong here. You street squid. Did you get that at all? Besides from me?
No.
Oh, okay. I truly, I have a special place in my heart for Moto Corsa, mainly because of the people who run that company,
Yeah.
who run that business.
And also, you'd hope for, with the brands that they sell and stuff like that, you would want something like that out of them, that type of connection, because especially if you're buying a Ducati, that's not a cheap bike.
Right.
None of them are cheap bikes. Doesn't
No.
matter what variant you're getting; they're all not cheap.
Yeah.
And you want it to be a place that you feel like you can come back to.
Oh, dude, they made me feel like anybody can afford a Ducati.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
It wasn't like, oh, look at this premium prestige dealership and we're so bougie. Nah, dude, that was the first Ducati dealership that I stepped into that I was like, wow, you guys made me feel like anybody can afford these motorcycles.
There was no silver spoons in sight.
Nah, dude, it was chill. The experience was just so chill.
That's good.
Yeah, it wasn't. because I remember I think Abel was telling us about his experience about buying the BMW. He
That's
said
kinda
they brought
just
him out like
every-
champagne or something.
Yeah,
like
I was
that.
gonna say that's kind of like every BMW dealership that I can speak of. At
Yeah.
least for cars, they do that. I know
Yeah.
that for a fact. And then for bikes, I mean, depending on where it is, they're strictly selling BMW bikes. It's gonna be an experience. They
Really?
make sure that like you know you're loved for buying one of their bikes.
They brought him champagne.
That's what he said. Yeah.
I mean, when you're spending $40,000, I'd hope a bottle of champagne
I
comes.
mean,
with
your
it.
dad buys BMWs, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's that
cars.
experience,
Yeah,
like-
no.
That's
He has so many hats, jackets, umbrellas, like the whole
You
nine.
need, yeah.
insane.
You're like,
The
here,
whole
why do you have
nine.
a golf club set that's BMW? Well, it came with my car. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, they have
It's
so
the-
much weird
there's
merch
so much
that you
weird
didn't know that they
merch.
even like sell, and people just get it with when they make those big purchases.
It's also crazy. So if you go online, go on eBay and search this kind of stuff, people sell it for more than they actually get.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like they're like, oh, here's my BMW champagne. They'll sell it after the fact, and I'm like, people still want this even though they didn't buy the car.
Wow.
I was
That's
like,
insane.
yeah. So
But yeah, like at least a lot of the experiences when it comes to like the higher price things, like I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah. It's on brand for what they do.
And I
What
mean,
they sell.
it does make a difference of how often you go back. It's like, do you feel like it's home,
Sure.
or do you feel like it's a place? That you're
I will
just
never buy a
coming
brand
to
new
spend
bike.
stuff. I mean, but
you did twice though.
but I
No,
mean,
I won't do it
Two
again.
times.
I will not do
I
it
mean,
again.
I'm probably gonna do it a second time. I'm gonna at least go there back to Yamaha of Olympia to check out the 2025 R1.
Awesome. Well, I like that bike.
It looks nice.
I do like that
It's
bike.
got real wings, so I won't have to attach my own fake ones.
Yeah. So Motorsports of Olympia seems like a great dealership.
Yeah.
That's as far as I could tell. And what's funny is like the two dealerships that we mentioned that we really like, they are KYT helmet.
I was
dealers.
just gonna say, don't you realize they sell KYTs? So.
Yeah. So I'd imagine KYT chose them for a reason because maybe like they were the ones that were willing to open up a bit
Yeah.
of space for the helmets that I love so much.
But what was called? Is there any other bad experiences that we?
There
could
is,
think of?
yeah. So there's another KYT equipped dealership down in Los Angeles that I wanted to
no.
bring up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not a KYT equipped dealership.
Yeah. Which is like, I'm just gonna go into the facts of Del Amo, Los Angeles, Del Amo,
Long Beach, you said.
Yeah, Del Amo, Long Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach.
You guys went there
Yeah.
with me. It was fun.
Yeah. Seems
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Nobody,
I mean, the one person I interacted with was awesome.
yeah,
but
nobody paid me to be there. Nobody sent us to be there. Nobody, nothing. Like we were there. I wanted to show support for California. Both times that I went, nope, didn't get paid once. Right? It was just like I love this helmet so much, and I'm happy that they carried it. So what happened was in June, JC, my friend JC, he's with attorney Jeff. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, we really love the meetup. Are you willing to do a giveaway?" Of course, what we would get out of it is followers. They would follow us, and of course they would follow you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care about that, right? But the idea was for attorney Jeff to give away an Insta360 X4, and for Del Amo to give away a KYT KX1. And at the time, our friend Matt was working there. And we had it was an agreement. I posted it. I posted the details of the giveaway, and then I posted the winners of the giveaway. Del Amo Long Beach also, reposted that video onto theirs. So my face is all over theirs. Again, not getting paid by either people. It was just something that I did. Okay. We recently went down there. When we came back, come to find out, our friend Matt got let go for whatever reason it was, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah,
remember you
sure.
telling us about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into
R.I.P. Matt.
detail. But they let him go, and all of a sudden, the person who won the KX1 finally called in. And now the general manager of Del Amo Motorsports Long Beach refuses to honor the winner of the KYT KX1 because
ridiculous.
supposedly he did not approve it. Supposedly. And then I had a conversation with him. I said, "Hey, I'm so and so. I heard you guys don't want to. And then he said, no,
That makes
we're
no
not
sense.
going to give that away. I never approved it. I said, it's all over your Instagram. He said he looked. And he said, it's not on there. At the same time, I was looking at it. So, what's funny is I told Shaheen this story from Moto Corsa, and he's like, we'll honor it.
Oh,
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And I told, a couple others, and they're like, yeah, we'll honor it. Because there's another dealership, a KYT dealership here that's in the works, which I'll announce later, a later date. You guys probably already know. It's one of our friends. His name is Calvin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But there's other people willing to honor it. And it's a shame because I will never come back to Del Amo Motorsports Long Beach.
yeah,
Ever.
Del Lamo.
Del Amo.
10 toes down, Del Amo. Never coming back, even though I've never been.
I was like, you've never
It's just
been,
such a
never
hard
coming
pill
back.
to swallow when, like, yeah, it's a product that technically you're losing out on money, but you're also losing out on more than just money at that point.
Yeah.
Like, honor your word.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Like, if you said, if your company at some point said, yeah, we're going to do this, you better just come through.
And
I
put
mean-
it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Some of the videos that I've made for them are some of the most viewed on their freaking IG.
I was like, it's advertisement for them. It's a $800 retail helmet. That doesn't mean that they spent $800. I know they did not spend $800 on it.
Exactly.
Even $800 for all of us to come on a bike meet with 200 bikes down there, worth $800 bucks all day, every day. It could have been 4 helmets. It's still worth it.
Yeah, even 10% of that 200, 20 people, right? 10% of the 200 comes and buys a bike from Del Amo Long Beach because we showed up.
Yep.
Come on, man. What's the return on that?
And then
Huge.
even the people that don't just buy a bike but also buy their gear from there.
The gear or that they name. Like,
even I was
so-and-so.
debating getting a hat.
Yeah.
When I was there, that's money. There's definitely a ton of people that are like me. That's like, I don't want to buy a bike, but I'll buy some clothes.
Exactly. Or like, I need a KX1. Oh, where's that dealer?
Oh,
Del
it's there.
Amo Long Beach.
Yeah.
So it's a shame because I don't want to ruin the relationship between KOT Americas and Del Amo Long Beach, but at the same time, it's like they were never a part of it. It was between Adobo Moto, Del Amo Long Beach, and Attorney Jeff. Attorney Jeff kept his word. They sent the Insta360 X4 right away. And then Del Amo Long Beach, y'all refuse to honor the winner. Fuck you guys. How about that?
Fudge you guys, we have to make this family friendly.
Sorry. That said, one company that's always supported Adobo Moto is Camoto, and Camoto happens to be the sponsor of today's Brood Talk. So this is the Camoto 40-liter waterproof backpack, made out of PVC material, so it is 100% waterproof, and it is tear resistant. You can open this bag from the top or from the inside. Has another sleeve up here and a laptop sleeve in here. This backpack is perfect for carrying stuff during the winter in the rain. You guys are probably wondering if it can fit a helmet. Let's see. Let me get this one right here. Go ahead and open up the back. There you go. It's a $40 backpack from Camoto, but if you use code AdoboMoto, you do get a discount. They made a special page just for us. The link is below. I love promoting Camoto products. Not only are they affordable, but they're pretty damn good quality as well. Camoto, thank you for sponsoring today's Brood Talk. Do you guys know that the 25 R1 came out?
Yeah.
Or did you find that out today?
No. I was the first person to text actually in the
What?
in the group
Oh,
chat.
yeah, you were right. You were?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
you mentioned it.
didn't they discontinue the
Yeah.
R1?
And then I
thought they
happened to
did.
see an article, and that was when I dropped the article in our chat. Because I was like, wait, yo, he's serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I thought it was discontinued, or am I getting that confused with the R6?
No, it's discontinued.
We're in Europe at
Oh.
least.
Yeah.
I think we did say that. I was like, in Europe, technically, it was discontinued.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
For now,
They didn't
for now.
say specifically for the U.S. market, but
What do you guys think of the new R1?
I like it. but I'm biased. I put fake wings on my bike,
alright.
so
you like the winglet edition?
yeah. But the only thing is that it seems like the same bike.
No, it is
That's
the
what I
same
was
bike.
gonna say.
Oh yeah, I
It's
know that, but
exactly
I'm
the
saying like at that point, it's like, why am I going to spend my money on the 2025 version?
So supposedly it's so well. I mean, this is a good reason, but supposedly it's so that they could use it in World Superbike, the
Yeah.
winglets, because right now they're not allowed to.
Really? Because it's
Well,
not.
because
A,
it has to be from the factory.
oh, it's
The
not.
bodywork
It's
has
not
to be, like,
homologated
factory. Yeah.
Oh, so they didn't make it for us. They made it for.
for them.
I mean, they never make it for us.
Okay, well, yeah.
They never
true,
make these
true,
bikes
yeah.
for us,
Okay.
right? Unless you're BMW, because BMW never really had a hat a shoe in the hat. I don't know.
Shoe in the hat.
Yeah, sure.
A shoe in the race.
The hat in the race to begin
A
with.
shoe in the
A
race.
shoe in the race.
I thought it's a
hat
hair in the race,
a
but
hair in the
like
race.
a rabbit, but you know,
A rabbit in a
hair
hole.
or
They
hair-
never-
yeah.
Whatever the saying
Yes.
is.
Yeah, well, BMW did create the S1000RR to eventually compete in World Superbike, which looks like they're about to win their first championship thanks to Toprak. He went from Yamaha to BMW.
Toprak is crazy,
yeah,
dude.
bro.
Like I've
I
watched.
can't even
I've,
say his first name correctly.
yes, Toprak, I think.
No, that's his
Toprak.
last name.
Or
Everybody
yeah,
calls him
yeah,
Toprak.
yeah. But I've watched a few of like.
Is it Toprak? No, Toprak is his first name.
Yeah, yeah.
His last name is
I don't know.
Leone or something.
But watching some of his like riding, because I think they had like a video of him riding like stock,
Oh, yeah.
like a stock R1.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy was moving.
Oh, dude, savage, dude.
It's like, yo, he is sliding that back
Yeah.
tire like he is like he's getting paid to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's doing it effortlessly and perfect lap after
Yes.
lap after lap after
Yes.
lap. I was like, wow, this dude is crazy.
Now he's doing that on the M1000.
Oh my god.
Must
Dude,
be nice.
savage, bro.
Must
BMW
be
is
nice.
coming up, bro. BMW finally made a bike that
Worthy.
is worthy of somebody like Toprak riding it to its limits, bro. That's insane. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited for
Yeah, no.
BMW. I don't think the winglets are going to help Yamaha. I don't think it's
They
going
need
help
to get their
Yamaha.
own Toprak, that's all.
Yeah, yeah, they did. He won with them.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
20
saying that they need to get another
They get
one.
another one. Yeah, yeah.
To replace
Yeah.
him. It'll make racing more interesting.
Yeah. But yes, it is essentially the same bike. They changed the calipers for some reason. I want to say it's a supply chain issue, and they couldn't get any more of the normal calipers, so they went with the Brembos.
Yeah,
That's what
I was
would
going to say is they have the Humbos and they have, I think they're it's header adjustment in the shocks. There's a way you can I can't remember
There's
which adjustment.
individually adjustable.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
So like that was the other thing I was seeing. So you
Yes.
get better.
Oh.
You can, did you hear that? I know we had a question earlier. Someone was asking about getting your bike tuned, but I think that could be helpful out of that new R1.
Yeah. So there's different ways to tune your motorcycle. You can get the ECU flash, which is the actual computer on the motorcycle, or you can do a piggyback system like a Bazaz or a Power Commander. Okay, and then I've had experience with both.
Okay.
I believe the ECU flash is a lot more reliable.
Okay.
One, because it's not a piggyback system. You're literally flashing the computer that's
Yeah.
used for the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Right? The piggyback system, there's a lot of issues with that, which I've experienced personally. My R6, when I came out of work one day, it wouldn't start. Yeah, it wasn't until I got it towed home, I unplugged the power commander and then it
turned
started
on.
up.
Oh no.
Yep. So if you don't have enough juice running the power commander, it'll cause your bike to not start because it's in line with the ECU.
Correct.
That's
Okay.
one more thing for it to go wrong. So I'm against the Bazazzes and the power commanders personally. Yes, they are more convenient, but there is that downside of if that doesn't work, your whole bike won't work.
Sure.
And you'll have to unplug it, replug it, plug in the stock ECU. It's just another annoying thing. But there is that Brentune too for like we're having issues right now, me and Alex.
Yeah.
Like we're having trouble finding anybody
Anyone
to
that will
flash our bikes.
Yeah. There's like one person online that will do it. Everybody else won't do it. Or you have to
It's
go with
Brentune.
Intune for like $1,000 just for stage one. For stage 1 and 2 is $1,200.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So like I would say a normal tune costs $400 to $500. I think yours was what?
Mine was 300.
$300.
It was about 330
800.
bucks.
I've been hearing about
Yeah.
four.
My
Like,
R6
for
was
right now.
150.
150. So
Damn.
1,200 is a lot
Superbike
of
Unlimited.
money. So
Must have
Yeah.
been nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I paid $50 for expedited shipping.
Oh my gosh.
Content.
You sure you didn't just are you sure you didn't just send that to some guy?
No. Superbike
He's
limited
like,
flashes.
yeah, it's totally flash.
It feels nicer.
It feels nicer.
You sure they didn't just okie dokie would hit you with the placebo, bro?
Yeah. No, yeah. I love Superbike Unlimited. They've been flashing a lot of my Yamahas for a long time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's kind of a shame when you can't get a bike flash like the CF Moto. I still haven't heard of anybody flashing the CF Moto. That's one of the reasons I probably wouldn't buy the 675.
Yeah, because you can't get to actually experience what the bike
Full
is
power.
about.
Yeah.
Like
And then-
you're gonna get the neutered version time and time again.
Yeah, and then everybody like says that too. They're like, oh, the peak power is only at 11,000 RPM when the bike actually goes to 12 and a half. So maybe there's room. Maybe CF Moto's hinting for room for more power. But at the end of the day, if nobody's able to flash the CF Moto, what's the point?
Matter.
Yeah. Which, I think every bike should get flashed. I don't care what bike it is, Ducati, BMW. I think every bike could use a flash because from the factory they're restricted to emissions.
It's not what they envisioned. Truly, like what we get, especially in Europe. Europe, they're not getting what they're paying for.
No.
Essentially, that they're being heavily dumbed down for emissions, and I understand. Like I do care about the world and the environment, but a lot of us are going to do it regardless.
Yeah.
Like I can understand for cars, makes perfect sense. For bikes, we're going to do it. It's not a difficult thing. We don't need to go through a million different channels.
No.
Just make it easier.
Yeah.
Just make it easier.
Yeah, and a lot of people think it voids your warranty. It does not.
Well, it depends on certain if you get it from a dealer or not. Certain dealers are like, if you do that, we're not going to help you.
No.
Certain ones, yeah.
That's not allowed.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. There's an actual law in place that says it has to be directly related to that.
Well,
So if your motor blows, they have to
prove that it was the
prove
tune.
that it was the tune, and that is very hard to prove. And you know what's funny? My BMW, when I flashed it with a Bren tune, I went to BMW and I said, "Is this going to void my warranty?" And they said, "Nope."
I feel like that's something that Del Lemo would do.
No.
Like, nah, you voided your warranty, bro.
You see, one bad experience, one bad experience, and
It's
we will
infectious.
talk about it for a year.
It's infectious.
Maybe two. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. I would say get a flash. Avoid a piggyback ECU if you can. I think it's unnecessary. It's extra shit. But if you can't get a flash, luckily, I went to Superbike school. You went to Superbike school, and none of those bikes were flashed.
They're not
and
flashed.
there's guys riding those bikes like
Super fast. Like they're still really fun bikes with those. They're like stock bikes, but
they make you put all your excuses away.
yeah, you're like you can't see the dash, you can't see this. You have to ride the bike.
You're riding
and
it in
feel
road
the bike.
mode.
In road mode, really?
Yeah.
You put it in road mode?
Trevor kept changing it.
Oh, okay. Mine was
looking at mine and you press the
definitely in race mode every time I went out. But
Yeah, the first time they didn't catch me up here
Oh,
at the
okay.
ridge, but I think they were keeping an extra eye on me.
that makes sense. You're a little
yeah.
shady over there.
Yeah, I know. They're like looking for me, like, where's Paul at?
Where's that guy?
Where's that guy? He's not in class. I'm like,
I know.
yeah.
But I guess that kind of bleeds into the topic of track versus street.
Yeah.
And since now everyone kind of has at least 1/2 under their belt.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, especially coming into our crappy not riding season, where if anything we'd want to travel for a track.
Let's get into you, my guy. Like less than a year of riding, your wife rode before you. Now you're killing it at the track on your really slow R7, and then we put you on a V2, and I was like, oh, okay. You know whose idea it was? Abel's.
Really?
Abel's like, I bet if we put him on 1,000, he'd be like right there next to us. I said, well, we have a V2 today. Let's do it. He's like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, to his surprise, you're right on his ass.
Closer than he expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
How's the transition been from knowing Jack's squad about motorcycles, first motorcycle, and then doing a lot of canyons, right? A lot of long rides, and then doing track day after track day after track day, and now going back to the canyons, and how does everything that you've experienced so far in your first year of riding translate to from when you first started to now? I feel like you've advanced a lot.
Oh yeah. No, it definitely affects how you approach the situations. You're now you end up not fearing any of them because you know what the proper way to compensate. Versus in the beginning, it was like, I got to be really careful because I don't know what I could do to get out of a sticky situation. But through the time of the year, I've gotten into all those sticky situations at least once. And I'm like, okay, now I know. And then you get on the track and you're like, all right, let's see how far I can get. How hard I can push it before I end up in that sticky situation. So it's so weird because it's all that information coming through in a year in a sense, but it helps you learn it all.
Yeah.
At least so well balanced through everything. Riding the V2, you were like, I'm surprised you sent it. And I'm like, one, I feel comfortable. I feel like I could essentially hop on most of all bikes within reason and be able to push in a moderate amount because I'm kind of like, well, if this happens, I kind of know what I need to do coming into it. It's not a, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It's like, well, okay, do this.
And we're only in September?
Yeah.
January of this year, you probably wouldn't have had that confidence.
No.
Not at all.
No shot.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh yeah, I can get on pretty much any super sport
Yeah.
and ride it fairly good.
I feel like Tom Cruise. Throw me on any bike.
You look exactly like him. Did you guys ever see that thing where if you put a straight line down Tom Cruise's face, his tooth is off to the side or something? I was like, what?
Oh no.
Somebody showed me that and I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Not
He has
seen that.
one tooth directly in the center of his face.
Huh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But yeah, I feel like Tom Cruise, I could hop on any vehicle, especially a
just
motorcycle, and just rip
rock
that
it,
thing.
yeah.
Get on an S1K, just like the movies, and
Yeah.
be dragging me damn near through a canyon in pants.
Hey, you could probably ride my R6 with the throttle brake.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I think so. Honestly,
Yeah.
I do think it's possible.
You might be able to work around that because
Yeah.
of the experience that you've gained. You know, what's funny is you're kind of self-taught,
Yeah,
right? In a sense, right?
yeah, yeah,
We've given you tips. You've been in the track, but you've never taken a class.
yeah. No,
You have.
Yes.
How do you feel now? I know you put down more miles than anybody in my friend group that I've ever seen.
I'm pretty sure you're up there for anyone in the Pacific Northwest besides Marvin, bro.
Yeah. Besides
You
Marvin.
and Marvin are up there.
Yeah, I don't.
But he does it on a bike that you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Between my my first bike and this bike, oh God, I think I'm 27,000 miles in 11 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put down a lot of miles, but I would say between all of that experience, it definitely taught me a lot, got me comfortable on a bike. And then going to Superbike school changed up a bunch of that too. So since I'm not on a super sport, and I've not actually owned one, it's cool to be able to get on that bike and within a couple laps start to feel comfortable on it.
At a track that you've never been to.
So at a track I've never been to. It's a pretty small, tight, technical track and just feel comfortable. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I started to get in there and that track. So there's a skid pad out there. And when you get out on the skid pad, it is not nice, comfy, pavement. You have dips and bumps and all this. And it was weird because I didn't feel afraid of it. I think that's part of just our roads here aren't all the best. So you start hard to learn. You just have to deal with the bumps and all of that. So being out there, going through it, getting out on that front straight and just pinning it and first and second coming out of that skid pad, you would get the front end light, but you knew you were fine. At that moment, okay, cool. And I was doing it at the track. I was just at the track the other day on
Another track that you've never been to.
another track I've
He's
never
kinda
been
there.
to.
Oh yeah, he's
Okay.
Kinda.
He's been there.
I
Yeah,
have
you're right.
been to the Ridge about 8 times.
Yeah.
I have ridden the Ridge once.
That was this Monday.
This
Was it the
Monday.
Ridge or was it Pacific?
Oh, I was also at
you were also at
Pacific
Pacific,
on
yeah.
Sunday. You're
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
You rode Pacific with me. That one.
Yeah,
the
barely.
3 laps.
Yeah,
I was
one
wearing a
lap.
3-piece suit while I did it.
Yeah, a literal 3-piece
I was
suit.
not kidding. I was wearing a
A
3-piece
three-piece
suit.
How long did it take you to feel comfortable at the Ridge since doing Superbike school?
I would say it probably took me second session to start feel, or third session to actually feel comfortable.
And you didn't start in C group.
I didn't start in C group. I started in B.
B.
So I think that was a big one, is just trying to learn that track, but the same fundamentals apply everywhere. So after you find your like turn points and apexes and zones to break in, and I think that helps a ton. Like when I was on Pacific on Sunday, it was like the taste of racing there, and you had everybody under the sun out there. We had a guy on a cruiser. I mean, it was anything and everybody, but it was still fun because I could see all my lines and I was doing it, and I only got passed by a few people, and I was like, we had mirrors because, you know, it was just a small thing. I didn't really see many people, but be behind me, which was cool.
You were checking your mirrors on the track.
Hey,
it's a
okay.
thing that Alex does.
You were checking.
He did it on the ridge too, believe it or not. I saw him go like this.
Listen, okay, the taste of racing. You got anybody and everybody out there with no experience.
You just got to be faster than everyone else.
No, but there was some really stupid shit going on.
You were afraid then.
some dumb stuff going on around that one, so I still had to learn. But
Okay.
So
it's worth it then.
But I think it was worth it. I think I learned a lot. Like I was out the last night with friends out on the streets, and everyone's like, "Wow, you improved a ton over the last couple of weeks." So
that's good. So
Alex,
it's not
Alex
necessarily.
finally learned how to lean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I had to remind him a couple times at the res. I'm like, bro, you're not hanging off at all.
To be fair, I do want the S1000 RR. I would be leaning off that bike way more than my third bike.
Yeah.
That is a big thing. Like I've seen, like if I'm on a super sport, I can lean that bike more. I feel more comfortable doing it compared to mine. So
yeah, well, you scraped Peg a few times.
I scraped Peg
because he's not hanging off. Yeah,
I can lean the bike. I just like not leaning off the bike. Yeah.
But yeah. So to answer the question, track versus street, it's track and street. That's that's the true combination.
Yeah,
it's not track or street.
But this leads us to a better question: is would you travel for street or would you travel for track? Considering that our riding season is atrocious, we maybe get 6 months, like a solid 6 months or less. Like, would you travel to do canyons or would you travel to do track days?
I feel like I would do track days.
Yeah.
Just because it's new and it's controlled.
True. Yeah.
You know, with canyons is like, I feel like I would have to live there to fully take advantage of that specific canyon road. Like it would be fun to do like one ride once. Like everybody keeps talking about this canyon road that takes you to San Diego from LA.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, I would do that. But to get the full experience of somewhere new, I'd rather go ride a brand new track.
Okay.
Yeah, like I really want to go to Pittsburgh. I want to go to a lot of the East Coast ones like VIR, Road Atlanta.
Okay.
All those ones I want to do eventually, but I haven't hit a lot of the Southern California, like Chuckwalla. I really want to hit Chuckwalla. Chuckwalla is on my list this winter, so hopefully you guys will be able to come with me and Abel if we do go. Yeah. But what about you? Would you travel for track or canyons?
That's tough, because as much as I've had, I would say at this point in time, with the amount of miles I've put on the road and the amount of track days I've done, I feel like it's damn near equal amount of time, because it's not like you're going to spend almost 8,000 miles at the track, but that's equivalent to like a solid few days of riding. I would say I'd be more open to traveling for... I would travel for canyons.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. If it's really worth it. The hard thing that makes it difficult is if it's worth it or not. You know that a track's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Like, even, I mean, we have Pacific, which is not the best like road conditions, but it's a fun as hell track.
Yeah.
So it's like
really fast on that track.
Yeah, and it's like if you were to consider any track, like say that Pacific is bottom of the barrel, then that's still really damn good.
Fun. Yeah, still really fun. What about you? Would you travel for track or canyons?
I would still say I'd probably travel for canyons, or just like the roads, because I just like to see new places as well. And you get to see like big day, we could do 300 mile trip, and you can see a whole different part of the state.
Sure.
Whereas when you go to the track, it's a lot of fun. It's controlled. You don't have to worry about speeding tickets or anything like that. Wonderful feeling in the world.
Of course, you don't have to wonder about speeding tickets.
Where you allegedly have to worry about those on the road,
Right.
but you get to see more things. So I mean, like as I I travel a lot, I have done whatever, like thousands of miles, and that's part of it too. Like I'll go someplace I've never been, and even if I like go all on like freeway there, I'll open up Google Maps, and I was in Helena, Montana. I took mostly freeways up there. I took some of the more fun back roads. And then just out of there, I was like, that looks like a really fun road. And I took it up. And was I fast? No. But it was so much fun to just go sliding through all these roads, see all these views, beautiful day, just kind of enjoy. So it's not all about being as fast as you possibly can and tearing up a canyon as much as it is going fast, having fun, learning the road, and seeing things too.
Yeah, it's a lower stress environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when you put it that way, I could see why you would want to do that. Yeah, for sure.
So also we need to go to Montana this year. There was so many amazing roads I didn't go to. I was like, that was awesome. That one looks even more fun. There was all these hills. So
Yeah, no, I'm
and it's
definitely
warm.
down.
It's
But what about
warm
you?
in the summer.
But what about you, Storm? I mean, you're kind of new to at least one of the subjects, but would you do more if you had the opportunity to? Because I know, like, when you did it before, it was kind of a last minute.
Like you've
whim.
never done a canyon run with us, except for this.
He's done the
weird one.
Grand,
Just LeGrand.
so
I mean, I was hitting LeGrand all the time before I met any of you guys, but I mean, I'd probably travel more just to do track, honestly,
yeah.
because you don't gotta, like what he said, you don't gotta worry about cops. You don't gotta worry about motherfuckers pulling you over and tickets and all
I feel
that
like that's
stuff, so.
directly targeted to some experiences you've had.
Yeah, so no, I mean, you guys know I travel all the time. I ride hella far. You guys already know this.
We know that, bro. Rustin,
Rustin and home and Rustin and Alki.
Rustin's so
and
far,
Alki.
yeah.
Don't
Alki.
forget.
Alki.
Yeah.
Seattle Rustin.
Seattle Rustin. He goes there.
Yeah, definitely travel to do more track for sure though.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Because I know our riding season is
Dude, our riding season is horrendous, dude.
so bad.
Yeah, are you gonna ride throughout the year?
Of course, I'm going to ride through the year.
Do you have the
I-
gear?
Look at
though?
his skin tone.
I start.
Yeah,
Look at his
I
skin.
forget, dude.
Like,
When
I don't
did
mean
I
to bring
start
skin
last
tone
year?
into this, but he is naturally just going
Yeah.
to survive in the cold a whole hell of a lot better.
I took my MSF course in the rain. There was standing water when I showed up to my MSF course. I'm not afraid of the rain. I think that was one thing that was kind of cool is I took it all on the wet, shitty days.
That's cool.
And then I got a bike and I wasn't afraid. So I rode, I don't know how many, 2,000 or 3,000 miles between November of last year and December. Like I had already thrown down a ton of miles
Yeah.
and then continued to ride all throughout that. So
That's awesome.
I'm not one to talk because I was right there with you.
yeah, we were just riding. It doesn't matter. You
'Cause I-
get some good gear, heated gloves and like
Yeah.
a heated vest. You're fine out there.
I think we should
Good
do
tires,
one winter
too.
ride this season with the Broods.
Keys is also good tires. You don't want like your hot street
Street
tires
tires.
that you have for
True.
the summer. Because I know some friends that are saying that right now. They're like, oh, I was, I just left my house and I made 3 miles and went on the freeway and it was just on a cold day. It wasn't even wet. Like, oh, it started to get loose in the front. I'm like, yeah, it's because they're not warmed up yet. Whereas like the tires I've been on, there's like the road fives. I'll put sixes on it here.
Or battle axes.
Or battle axes, something that's meant for it. I trust them without issue. I came here in the rain.
Yeah,
So-
more silica content in them, so it sticks better.
Sticks better. So
Very cool, man.
You're gonna try to get further than Rustin
for this winter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if depending on where we go, I think I'd be down to take the super bikes out to some road, some empty road, as long as like you said. Granted, we got the right tires.
the right tires and
Because
that.
it's a
and-
lot of fun when you don't have to worry about being swelteringly hot.
yeah.
True.
You can
True.
enjoy all the movement that you're doing,
That's
and
true.
it's not laborious. You're not like,
Yeah.
I gotta.
Because it's
shift
not like
over
we're always
here.
saying
Yeah,
rainy, shitty days either.
Right.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of
a lot of days where it's
a
not
lot
raining.
of days where it's just cold.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and you're like,
it's mainly
okay.
cold in the morning too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, why is it 41 degrees in the morning and it's going to be 50 by the midday,
I think that
which
would
is
be
a
fun.
good temp. Like right now, we would like to be out in 50 in a tracksuit, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Sure. No, I have a full, pant and jacket
I was
combo
about to say,
for the
I
winter.
was about to say, you're probably gonna have a whole on undersuit underneath your suit if you
yeah,
even
no,
do that.
absolutely.
If you don't, you can buy it with Camoto.
That's true. That's right. Which is the sponsor of today's
Today's
Brude Talk.
I seriously am gonna try their heated gloves though,
I have.
because
We love you,
my
Kemi.
fingers freeze, and that's like one of the biggest things about riding, like in the winter, which is like 80% of the year for us, for what it feels like. My hands, if my hands get cold, I am a miserable person. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like
everybody.
that's the only thing I care about. I could have a cold torso, cold toes, cold head. If my hands are cold,
You're done.
I'm an unhappy camper.
I mean, that's
Like, get
funny
me the
'cause
hell out of here.
That's how you control the motorcycle with your
No,
hand.
but I just mean in general. Like last year, like it wasn't that bad, or technically this year, but it wasn't horrible. But I can definitely tell that making the smart decisions this time around would definitely make it a lot more enjoyable. So
Yeah.
it's like having the right gear to be out in
Oh, yeah.
the cold weather seasons make a heck of a difference.
Yeah, you got to have the gloves that block the wind, believe it or not.
Oh,
It's
for
the
sure.
wind. It's the wind.
I've already done it this season. I was out till like 1:30 in the morning, and I was heading home. It was like 42 degrees, 43. I was summer gloves, tinted visor. Didn't plan any of this, obviously. And I was heading home, and I was like, I am so cold. I am so cold.
Really?
Really, I know.
Really?
Even with my heated grips on my BMW.
It was the fact that you have no wind buffeting.
No wind buffering whatsoever.
You're like a
Brood
sail in the
hoodie
wind,
did
bro.
not work either.
No, dang it. It's not made for, it's only made for crashes.
Made for crashes. It's not meant to do 110 in the middle of the night.
So we're at the portion where we answer a couple questions, but really we only have time for one question, which is, how do I buy a motorcycle if I can't afford to buy it outright and I can't go through a dealership? Well, there's a common misconception about motorcycle loans, which I'm going to let Alex get into because he has a couple things to say about it.
So obviously, I've bought all my bikes used. I thought the same thing that most of you probably thought as well, that you have to go through a dealer to grab a loan. But you can actually go to your bank. You can tell them I'm buying a bike or I'm buying any vehicle. This also works for cars as well. And you can get a loan for that. And what you end up having to do is you have to bring either the title in with, and you have to sign that over to the bank. Or if you do it, you can also bring both parties for the sale, and you can have them sign that directly over to the bank, and you can get a loan for it. Actually works out pretty well. You can get a much better deal a lot of times. If you try to get like a personal loan, that's not other options that people will say, but the percentage is way higher. So definitely suggest having something that has collateral back on it, which would be your bike.
So it's essentially just like adding a lien holder.
Yeah, so you're just adding a lien to your bike for the bike.
Yeah, and the best part, there's no dealer, salesman trying to upsell you on oil changes.
Yeah, no.
There definitely is not.
Hey, man.
So much better.
Kawasaki maintenance deal. What the heck?
There's-
God, dude.
There's no
God.
delivery fees.
So
There's no
salty.
setup fees.
Yeah, there's no freight.
You don't have to use Delamo.
Delamo.
Lame-o.
But that ends today's Brood Talk. Nate, anything you got to say?
You should use your maintenance deal that you already paid your purchased Storm.
No.
Get your Brood hoodies.
Get your burgers at
Oh, yeah, there's that
Domomoto.com.
Get your brood hoodies. They're awesome. They're super warm.
They're
They
great.
pretty much hold up to most weather situations on the bikes, which is really nice. So
I can test that my Brood hoodie has probably done 5,000 or 6,000 miles, and they're still there. It doesn't have any holes or any issues. So I think it's definitely a high quality warm hoodie, and I like that it doesn't have the little cords that no one uses anyway.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even
That's
realize
the worst
that.
Yeah,
thing
I
in the
love
world.
that.
You get like caught up on them. I just cut them out most
And-
most of the
When
time.
you're
so-
riding with it, it like
yeah,
flaps
just
to
it
your
flaps and you're hitting. You're like, what does
And-
that sound? Yeah. So
And one of the things that I got to test today is even when wet, they're still kind of warm. Still kind of warm.
They are not bug proof. That's the reason that I don't tend to wear my other one right now is that it's covered in bugs. Yeah.
But make sure to grab your Brood hoodies at
adoublemoto.com.
Did you forget what the ending was?
Yeah.
Do you also have adobomoto.org?
No.
adobomoto.xxx?
I should just buy them all. That ends today's Brood Talk. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, of course.
It's always a good time. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Oil.
Storm.